Despite its Victorian origins, the train is still an efficient people mover. Railway technology has been developing since Richard Trevithick built a train as a fairground attraction in 1808. British Rail has been divided into business sectors. InterCity operates Britain's express trains. Subsidies from the taxpayer are being cut, and government is setting tough financial targets. These engineers are part of a project called InterCity 225. They are led by two men, Project Director David Rollin of British Rail and Mike Newman of GEC Transportation Projects. Their task, to build 140-mile-an-hour electric locomotives. The first must be delivered on February the 14th, 1988. They must deliver speed, comfort and reliability while being economical and flexible to operate. Each locomotive must have an operational life of 30 years. The locomotives are to be called Class 91, but are already better known as Electras. They'll be machines as fast and slick as a Ferrari, yet as strong as a bulldozer. Electra is not being built in-house by British Rail, but has been contracted out by competitive tender. Weighty business and performance specification documents were prepared for the competing manufacturers. The final choice was between three builders: Azer of Sweden and the British manufacturers Brush and GEC. Competitive tendering offered British Rail performance guarantees and a good price. GEC Transportation Projects won the contract and are the main contractors. They are manufacturing the electrical equipment. British Rail Engineering, BREL, have been subcontracted by GEC to build the body structure and fit it out. For BREL, now being divorced from British Rail and a candidate for privatisation, Electra is a vital contract. Electra has a driving cab at each end, but it will form a push-pull train. This requires another control cab at the opposite end of the train to the locomotive. The unpowered driving cab is called a driving van trailer, or DVT. It has capacity for carrying mail, parcels, and the train guard. The DVT and the new coaches known as Mark IVs are being built by Metro Camel of Birmingham. Like GEC with the locomotive, they won the contract by competitive tender. But for today, HSTs travelling at 125 miles an hour remain the mainstay on the East Coast route. Now they are over 10 years old and are sometimes so overcrowded that passengers stand between London and Edinburgh. Electra, hauling more coaches, will replace them. But this is only one element in the largest railway modernisation programme since the 1950s. In 1955, the now defunct British Transport Commission announced a radical modernisation plan. The steam engine was scrapped and replaced with a variety of diesel designs. Modern signalling systems were to be installed. And main lines, including the East Coast, electrified. Electric railways are the most efficient to operate. In Europe, the electrification of trunk lines has been widespread.
Un quichotte électrique qui glisse vers l'infini.
It's taken over 30 years before British Rail has been allowed by government to spend over £300 million of its own resources and electrify the East Coast Main Line. East Coast Main Line electric locomotives will draw their power from copper contact wire suspended above the track. This carries 25,000 volts of alternating current purchased from the national grid. A pantograph on top of the locomotive makes contact with the energy. The train itself is only one component in the railway system. A train without track is like a ship without water. Electrification has made the East Coast Main Line the longest construction site in Britain. Over 33,000 support masts will carry more than 2,800 miles of copper contact wire. The speed of electrification has meant electric services to Leeds in 1988, a year early. This creates a problem. Electric line, but no trains. British Rail originally intended to test Electra with empty loads. Instead, they will haul HST coaches and a power car on scheduled services to fill the gap. They gain more intensive service experience, but it's a risk.